It's available to all foster families, and it's online so they can register, and it's located at different sites. So depending on where people live and their time schedules, they can look and plan accordingly. The resource workers also assist by giving them information if there's articles or books to read. So some people that are looking for something specific, they'll get the information that way.
So Granite State College has a variety of courses like on what? Discipline and child rearing. Like what kinds of courses would a parent, and do the foster parents have to pay for those, or does the state provide those, or how does that work?
It's provided through the state. The courses are around parenting, disciplining, grief and loss, so that foster families understand what our children are going through, so they're better equipped to deal with it, because behaviors that come from grief and loss come in many forms, so that to help them understand. So there's a variety, of things that are out there.
What do you think of those courses, Angela? Do you ever take those? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to keep, I think it's 48 continuing education hours within 2 years for my license. So.
And are they helpful? Are they a support to you all?
Absolutely. There's always new things to learn. And so I go to different conferences. I take online classes.
Nice.
Very nice.
Now, do you ever talk to other foster parents? Do you guys have like little support groups out there, or like do you have like a little network of people you talk to?
Yeah, we do help each other and network, and also there is a foster parent association that you can join, and that also is a good help and support for foster parents.
There's a statewide foster parent association that New Hampshire has, but the Manchester area also has the Manchester Area Foster and Adoptive Parent Association. And our foster parents that are licensed through the division will support each other. I mean, I think they're probably, their greatest source of support, for each other to talk about difficult issues or to arrange respite care as needed or assistance. The Foster Parent Association does a lot of training. They have a mentor program where they'll sort of assign, if you will, a seasoned foster parent with a new foster parent to help kind of walk them through the process of being a foster parent and support them, with whatever challenges might come up regarding any placement they may have. So there are different layers of support for the foster parents, all the way up to academics, down to, just each other.
People.
Yeah.
Nice. Gil, part of your job is to assist in the process of matching the right child to the right family. Is that right?
That is correct.
So how do you go about doing that? I mean, how do you know what kind of young person fits in with what kind of family? How do you go about doing that? That would just seem incredibly complex.
Well, there's a lot that's involved, and it depends on the foster parent. If somebody like Angela that's been around with a lot of different types of kids, as you mentioned before, she's fostered over 50 kids. So we know she has experience with a wide array of different children that she's supported. But at first you'd have to look at individually the child. What are the behaviors that child has? What kind of environment has that child been in? How is that environment going to be different from the environment that child is going to be placed in? Looking at the members of the family, how many? Sexual orientation. So there's a vast array of things we need to look at before placing that child. At the beginning, with the kids that we're supporting, it's not going to be a very fast transition. We need to make sure that that's going to be a fit not only for the child, but also for the family. So we'll start initial just visitations, then we'll do some overnight visits to see how those are going. And in a period of time, we'll be able to see if it's going to be a fit for that child and that family.
Nice. And then, Robin, I'm assuming part of your job, too, is is that a part of your job, finding the right child for the right family? Is that part of what you do as well?
For the resource workers, what happens is a child protective worker will ask them to look for a foster family regarding a child, depending on the age and the sex. And we have a pool of families, and our two resource workers look at where the child is, where they're coming from. So we try to keep children in the same area, same school, within their community. So that's really how it starts. So we look at the dynamics within the foster family to see if it looks like that child can fit in that family.
I guess one of the biggest questions I have, and really one of the points of this show today, is to take a look a little bit about what the size of the need is for foster parents. I'm guessing we need more foster parents than we do. Can either one of you help me put that into perspective for people who maybe don't understand the problem? How big is the need?
I mean, it's, you know, like Gil had said, it's substantial. I mean, we can never have enough, you know, foster homes, especially foster homes within the Manchester area. You know, we, being the largest district office in the state, have the largest pool of foster homes, but they tend to come from the outlying areas. You know, and what we really want to do is keep kids in their community. We know they're most successful when they can stay in their same school district, when they can stay within their community that they're familiar with, when they can stay with their local mental health center. You know, and they don't have to transition out of that to different services. You know, there's always a need for older children. You know, 12 and up, you know, tends to be a difficult, I don't want to say difficult, but it's a challenge, you know, to find families who are willing to take in older children and foster them. Sibling groups, you know, if we have a large sibling group, we want to keep them together. That's our primary goal, is to keep the children together and not have to separate them. And so that can pose a challenge when we don't have enough resources to take in, you know, sometimes a sibling group of 2, 3, or 4. You know, so it's always a need. I could never, you know, say we have enough.
Right.
And if I could add to that, Marty,
Yeah.
as Jen alluded to, there is always a need. You can't have enough foster homes because I may have, for example, 6 foster homes open, but for that one child, none of those homes may be a fit for that child.
Okay.
So there's always a need for foster homes. For anybody out there that's watching right now, you know, contact DCYF, contact LikeShare. You may not have thought about this before doing this, but you don't know until you actually make that phone call and you see what it's all about, because you helping that one child can make a big difference.
If I wanted to contact DCYF on this issue, what number would I call, Jen?
I mean, they could always reach out to our local office, which is here in Manchester, and that's 668-2330. And then they could use the extension 431, and then just let our support staff know that they're interested in hearing more about fostering, and they can connect them with the appropriate person. If there's someone who happens to be watching who isn't, you know, living within the Manchester area, they could certainly use that number as well, and we can connect them with the right office to
So it
get them
was
started.
668-2330, extension 431?
Yes. Yeah.
And Gil, if somebody wanted to call LifeShare, how would they reach you all?
And they can contact me directly at 644-6955 at extension 19.
644-6955?
Correct.
Extension 19.
Yes.
Excellent. We'll try to get those numbers up on the screen as the show's going on. But you just said something that was really powerful to me, Jen. You said that there are actually circumstances where, because you don't have enough foster care, you might get a family and have to separate siblings. And I mean, just thinking about that kind of loss, you know, not only are you not able to stay in the home that you grew up in, but now losing your brothers and sister, that's a pretty significant issue.
Well, and yes, I mean, we make every effort to make sure kids are placed together. And I just, you know, want to clarify that if children aren't and don't end up being placed together, we as an agency work very hard to make sure that they have regular ongoing contact. And then, you know, looking for a home as quickly as we can that they can be then placed together. You know, in Manchester, we have a very good success rate of being able to place children together.
Good, good.
And so we're very careful at making sure that that happens, and it's not a decision to separate siblings that we take lightly. But again, you know, just to kind of put the need out there for foster homes is always great. And, you know, like Gil said, we might have a large pool of foster families, but we have that one child who's got one specific need that just that pool of foster families, you know, can't meet. And so it's great to have many more than to choose from. So.
Speaking of foster homes that meet special needs, a couple days ago, Angela allowed us to come to her house and gave us a virtual tour, except she was there while it happened. So kind of like a little video tour of her house and talked to us a little bit about her environment. And we're just going to take a look at that right now for a second.
Well, I've got 4 kids to get up and get ready in the morning, so they all have different schedules. One of them walks to school, so she's up around 5:30 in the morning, and she's pretty independent, so she'll get herself ready and off to school for the most part. And then my son has to be to school for about 8:30, so it's getting, you know, breakfast and things like that. And I have another child that doesn't go to school till 10:30, so either myself or her therapist will take her to school. And in between that, just talking on the phone with different members of the team, whether it's, you know, working with the probation officers, making doctor's appointments, speaking with their individual therapist or their family therapist, running errands, doing grocery shopping, things like that. And then brings us to about lunchtime. So one of the girls comes home. She gets out of school at noon, so she's home. That's getting my little one fed and getting him ready for a nap. And then just trying to, again, catch up on things that I need to do, errands or, you know, making appointments, emailing, you know, things like that. Then school gets out, so my son gets out around 2:30 in the afternoon. One of the other girls gets out at 2, but she doesn't get home till about 2:30ish. So from there, it's just running, you know, again, medical appointments, maybe depending on what's going on with behaviors and things like that, dealing with that kind of stuff, trying to get ready for dinner. Then one of the girls I have goes to a program at the school. It's like a night school program, so it's getting her off to that, and then getting dinner ready, homework, things like that. Sometimes it can be because some of the things that they want to do, like the video games they want to play, are not really appropriate for the littler ones, so it's just trying to balance, you know, the TV time and the free time, and, you know, sometimes unfortunately the younger kids kind of rule what's going on, but, you know, after they're in bed, then, you know, the older kids can pretty much do some of the things that they want to do that they probably can't do while the little ones are awake. I feel like I can handle it, so I'm pretty seasoned. I have a lot of support with the agency that I work with, so I mean that makes a lot of difference. You know, there's a lot of different team members, and if I need something, then, you know, they're right there to help me out. So.
Welcome back. Thanks for sharing your home with us, Angela. I wanted to ask you if you had any kind of favorite story, something that really stood out and inside of you as an experience as a foster parent that you would share with our audience.
I have lots of little rewards along the way, but I can share something with you that happened most recently. I'm working with a young lady, and one of the needs that I'm working on with her is her self-esteem. So she was going through a difficult time, and one of the things I would do for her, every day I would text her something on her phone, something inspirational, something to let her know that she was special. And as I work with the children, I always let them know that, you know, love is unconditional, and a lot of times when they make mistakes, they feel, you know, badly, and it really affects their self-esteem. So I had texted her that, you know, you are loved unconditionally. And so she texted me back, I love you too, ... no matter what. So that was something that really was very special to me, something very rewarding.
Well, I want to say thank you for the rewards that you've given us in this community by working with our children. I'm really humbled by the amount of sacrifice that you've given, and when you do a really good job, that helps us at the Office of Youth Services have fewer people to work with. So we really appreciate the support of what you do. And Gil, in the last couple of years, I've come to know a little bit about the LifeShare program. I still have more to learn, but for the young people out at the airport that I come and see every now and then, I just really love spending time with them, and really appreciate the work that LifeShare is doing in the community. Robin, it was really nice meeting you today. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you so much for what you do. As a former foster child, I really appreciate the work that you do and the care that you put into it. What you do can make a huge difference in the lives of young people everywhere. And Jen, I really remember when you came into your position over at DCYF, we were so happy when you came on board. You have really helped work in this community and helped us at OYS be much more effective at what we do. You're really a great professional, and we're really honored to have you on our show and working with us. So thank you for what you do. And for those of you out there that are inspired to make a significant gift this year, there's really no bigger gift that we can give children than the time and attention that we spend with them. And we have a group of young people that need your help. So if you're moved, to call either DCYF or LifeShare to find out a little bit more about becoming a foster parent. I'm sure they're waiting for your call. Until next time, this is Marty Bolden, and thank you for watching For Young People.